Well, Jets fans, take whatever positives you had from week one with this Jets team and throw them in the trash because that was pure garbage. What the Jets put out there, effort wise, game planning wise, execution wise, everything from start to finish. That was the ugliest football game I've seen the Jets play in quite some time. And I've sat through a couple of Robert Saleh errors with some ugly losses. The Jets get embarrassed by the Buffalo Bills in week 2, 30-10 on home field at MetLife Stadium. The stadium was empty at the end. We're going to break down what the hell happened today, why the Jets couldn't get off to a good start, the turnovers, the bad execution. We're going to talk about it all. This is the Gangzo here, post-game live show. I'm Ryan Sampson, host and producer of the show. That's my guy, Frankie Vittorini from U Stadium. As we said at the beginning, the Jets lost 30-10. Before I get to anything, as always, Frankie, how you feeling, man?
Ryan, man, I am not feeling good. I am in a bad mood. I am really disappointed in that team out there. I am really disappointed because you came into a week where you had all the momentum in this moral victory that we had last week against Pittsburgh. I thought the Jets would have shown more. They were outcoached. They were outplayed. There was no effort anywhere. They were one step behind. They couldn't complete a ball. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop the pass. They were outclassed by the Buffalo Bills. Just completely outclassed, man. They were clowning us. They made sure Elijah Moore got his little touchdown. They had him doing a little backflip at the end. They're calling timeouts late to not give up a touchdown to score more. It is what it is, man. They were outclassed. They were clowned today. This has to be a wake-up call for Aaron Glenn and everyone there at One Jets Drive. This was embarrassing. And I've seen embarrassments like you just stated, like you just said so eloquently, Ryan. By the way, you look great, by the way. You always have a nice tan. I got to get a tan. It's ridiculous. And I'm the idiot. I'm the idiot that comes on live and does pregame shows and says the Jets are going to win. I'm the idiot. And then they get embarrassed like that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, wow, holy crap. The Giants just hit a bomb. Malik Neighbors game-winning touchdown, 25 seconds left. Yeah, wow, that was crazy. Look, Giants land, they're about to get their first win while we're sitting here as the Jets fans going 0-2. Look, this is everything that like I said in the beginning. This is everything that we said negative or positive that happened last week with the Jets offense looking great, Justin Fields looking great, Aaron Glenn looks like a good coach. The defense didn't play so well, but there could be more from them. There wasn't more. There wasn't anything better. The Jets didn't do anything well today from start to finish. Started out with the Jets giving the ball to the Buffalo. First off, they start off offensively doing nothing, right? They go 3 and out, right? To start the game, they receive the ball, they go. Well, no, they get the first plays a first down rush to Breece Hall, and then they just go 3 and out after that. And then you're like, okay, let's go kick the ball to the Bills. And the Bills, you got them on 3rd down. You got to stop. They get the incompletion. Oh, no. Michael Clemens. They
did go 3 and out the first drive. Just throwing that out there.
The Jets did.
Yeah, they did. You were right initially.
Okay, so yeah. Michael Clemens, on the first Buffalo series, you have the Bills stopped in their first possession. You just forced an incompletion on 3rd down from Josh Allen. But no, Michael Clemens roughing the passer. And then the Jets get the ball. They literally give them an extra series of downs. The Bills go right down the field. And you're like, this is it. This is what's going to happen now. The Jets are going to fall into this hole of we have to have stupid penalties like that play right there, and you're going to let the Bills go down the field and score. That was the symbolism of this game. And Aaron Glenn deserves a lot of blame for this one. He didn't have his boys ready today. They weren't schemed properly. I didn't like that they were in man coverage a ton today. The Bills knew they were going to be man coverage. And then let's not forget, offensively, everything that was positive has gone completely down the toilet. Justin Fields looked like his old Justin Fields self, happy feet in the pocket. He got nervous after the first couple series because they started hitting him. They were blitzing on run plays, Frankie. They knew the Jets were going to run outside zone. They were blitzing their corners and safeties. They were keying every single time the Jets were doing outside zone run. And they were stopping them for losses every single time. This was a brutal loss. And this goes all at the feet of Aaron Glenn. And this is your first sign of adversity because now your starting quarterback could have concussion and he could potentially be out next week as well. This is bad, man.
How about this little tidbit, right? This is kind of interesting. Buffalo Bills, right? They scored 30 points. Josh Allen didn't throw for a touchdown. Josh Allen didn't run for a touchdown. Now, I'm not saying Josh Allen had a bad game. Josh Allen had a very good game. So he did everything he needed to do. But they ran the ball down our throats. We gave up 224 yards rushing on the ground. James Cook could not be stopped today. Literally looked like he was, I don't know if you remember NFL Street Game Breaker mode. That's what James Cook looked like today. Had 132 yards, 6.3 yards a carry, two tutties he had. It's just, again, the same issues we had last year. We couldn't stop the run. Happened again. Michael Clemens getting a bad penalty. Happened again. You can't move the ball on offense. Happened again. Can't pick up a fumble because it doesn't go our way. Happened again. Sauce Gardner holding, grabbing all day, not able to make tackles, not able to get Josh Allen down on that cornerback blitz, which was schemed up pretty well. So now the question we have to ask, and we could ask this later, but overall, I think this is a pretty important question. Is it the players? Is it the coach? Is it the owner? Because it can't be that it looks the same all the time if you're changing the coaches, if you're changing the quarterback, if you're changing the coordinators. It can't keep looking the same. Now, is it the players? Sauce did not play well today. I don't care what PFF comes out with tomorrow. Sorry if I'm mad today. I'm in a bad mood. I had to deal with a bunch of apartment stuff earlier. I was telling you. My apartment's breaking apart here in the store. I don't know what the hell is going on over here. But Quinnen Williams, nowhere to be found today. I didn't see you, big boy, anywhere. Will McDonald, who was my player of the week last week, my player I gave flowers to. I don't even know who to give flowers to later on today, by the way. But he was nowhere to be found. Sherwood had a terrible game because they ran the ball right up our throats, and he's responsible being the middle linebacker. The offensive line, did they do anything?
No, they didn't protect the quarterback well, Frankie. Justin Fields didn't play well. Garrett Wilson, he missed Garrett Wilson on the first drive, that in-cut route. And you're like, oh boy, here we go. Sailing a pass. That was an easy first down. Turner was like, that was a great route by Garrett Wilson. He just sails his pass, only gets picked off in the first drive. They kick it over to Josh Allen. Again, third down. It is third down. It was third and I'm looking at it right now just to make sure. 3rd and 8. Sorry, no. Where the hell is the penalty? No, because they get the intentional grounding. Oh, yeah, here we go. 3rd and 19 at the Jets 30. You're going to hold them to a field goal because they were driving down the field, the Bills. 3rd and 19. Josh Allen can't complete the pass. Michael Clemens hits him, roughing the passer. And I told you right away, I go, Michael Clemens, a guy who should have been cut. He should have been cut at training camp. He did nothing during the preseason to prove that he deserved to be on this roster. But Aaron Glenn said, I like his makeup. I like his physicality. I like his toughness, leadership, whatever you want to say. But the problem is he does dumb stuff like this all the time. He is a repeat offender. He did this under the Robert Saleh era where he makes dumb mistakes, roughing the quarterback on late plays and late hits. Instead, you give him the ball. They go first down. They drive all the way down the field, get the 1-yard touchdown run from James Cook. Then they kick off to you as the Jets. And what happens? What happens, Frankie? First play. Justin Fields fumbles the ball.
That was the game.
That was the game. That was the game right there. As soon as we said they had to get off to a better start.
Yeah, if they go, you
can't let the Bills get off to a hot start.
They're going to lose, and that's exactly what happened.
And then credit to the Jets defense. They somehow hold them to only a field goal to make it 10-0 at that point. But after that, the offense, again, 5 plays and you're punting. 5 plays and you're punting because what do, Frankie? Let's see. First, the defense makes a mistake with Michael Clemens by roughing the passer. So you give up a touchdown. Second thing, Justin Fields on the offense, brutal fumble. Got to hold on to the ball if you're going to scramble like that up the middle. Not to mention, Joey Bosa knows a scrambling quarterback because he just faced one on Lamar Jackson last week. So now your offense makes a huge mistake. Now it's time for your coaching to adjust. And they say, hey, you know what? Offense and defense have not gotten off to a great start. We need to scheme this up better. What do? First down, run. First, we get another first down. 18-yard pass, another first down. All right, we got 2 first downs. This drive is starting to go. The Jets can respond. They're down 10-0. No, what happens? We do an end around with Arian Smith for a 10-yard loss, Frankie. This is third quarter.
Really bad.
This is the first quarter with 3:22 left. You get a 10-yard loss. It is now 2nd and 20. And what happens after that? Incompletion, punt the ball away. They kick another field goal. You punt again on another 3 and out. Another touchdown, 20-0 before the half.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
And the other thing in this whole thing is, what was the game plan today? Because I don't understand. defensively what they were trying to do. You know you're not going to get home against Josh Allen. You want to send some blitzes early on?
They never got any pressure on him,
They didn't get any, but they didn't send anyone. Listen, send the house. They're going to score anyway. They are going to score anyway. At least make it a quick score versus this painful 5-6 minute drives we got to deal with this team. Try. Again, another week without a turnover. I'm going to keep counting. So we're at 2 right now. We had 0 turnovers in 2 weeks. Sauce couldn't get his hand on that ball. I know he was going to tip it. We cannot recover any fumble. The ball never falls our way. Against Josh Allen, we said it last week, Rye. We said it. We said it on Thursday, excuse me. They have to get their hands on the football. You got to force a turnover.
Frankie, you held Josh Allen to 104. You said this before, 148 passing yards. You held him to under 150 passing yards, 0 passing touchdowns, and you got killed. You got killed because what did the Bills do? They said, you know what? We know as coaching staff what Aaron Glenn's going to try and do, and Steve Wilkes. They're going to play man-to-man on defense. We're going to have some really good schemed-up plays, and we're going to also run the ball down their throat because we know we can't throw this ball 45 times against this Jets defense because it's not going to work for us that way. We can't have Josh Allen doing that. And credit to them. They stuck to the run. The Jets couldn't stop the run, which was another concern we had before the season, Frankie. They couldn't stop the run. And what happened today? They could not stop the run. Let's talk about the 44-yard rushing touchdown from James Cook. What is Brandon Stevens doing on that touchdown run? Did you see the effort he put on that play?
I don't know who thought that was a good idea to bring that kid in for $36 million. Kaz said this a bunch. We've talked about this. Kid is a liability. I know Ravens fans. I know a bunch of Ravens fans, and they told me, thank you very much. Thank you. The guy stinks. Thanks for taking him. And of course, you know, he comes here and he's worse than even was in Baltimore, if that was possible. But just staying on the quarterback point, right, with Josh Allen, let's flip on the other side. Let's go to our quarterback, right? Justin Fields today, granted, the offense was barely on the field, it felt like, so whatever, but 27 passing yards you had, buddy? 27 passing yards. 3 of 11 for 27 yards.
I won't lie to you, man.
You know Tyrod Taylor had double the amount of passing yards?
I won't lie to you, Frankie. Everything that we were concerned about with this Jets team came to fruition today.
It did.
It was like week 1 was a complete mirage, and shame on us, shame on you, shame on me, shame on Kaz. We all bought it. We all fell for it. We fell for it. They pulled the banana peel out of they put the banana peel right underneath us, and they said, "Ha! Week 1, yeah, that ain't us." That was a Robert Saleh-esque loss right there. Aaron Glenn is going to have a lot to talk for, a lot to speak for on this one because he didn't have his boys ready to play at all. That's preparation. That's effort. That's everything. That was poor execution from start to finish, man. There's one thing you can control, effort and execution, and the Jets didn't do any of those things today.
Yeah, and if you thought you had some fans back on board after that moral victory against Pittsburgh, where the Jets actually played really well, and they should have won that game.
They should have won the football game,
If you thought you had the Jets after last week, you ain't going to get many after this week. I see it already. Fans are checking out. People are pissed off.
They were emptying the stadium at the end of the third quarter, man.
I don't blame them. I would have left at halftime, to be honest. I would have left after maybe a few minutes into the third. What are you going to do, sit there? There was not a point in the game. The first drive was a 3-and-out, like you brought up, for -1 yards. Then Fields ends up fumbling after they score. What do you expect? The 3rd and 19, personal foul on freaking roughing the passer.
On Clemens.
That was it. It was over. That was an awful
It wasn't
penalty,
over,
man.
but it was over in the sequence we just laid, the 3 drives. The roughing the passer, which led to the touchdown and make it 7-0. The next drive, Jets get the ball back. Justin Fields, brutal fumble. You cannot fumble the ball on the first freaking play after you just gave up a touchdown and your defense had a boneheaded play on defense. You cannot fumble the ball in that spot. So he fumbles the ball. The Bills get the ball back. It's now 10-0 all of a sudden, just like we had said. You can't get down 10-0 early to this team.
Yeah,
nothing they could do, man. They couldn't even run the ball well.
Yeah, and you know what? Something we have to consider at some point. They have to figure out a way to get Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis somewhat involved in this offense. I'm not taking I'm not taking today as any sort of like
Yeah, I
standard or like
wouldn't.
a blueprint
Don't
to look
slam Brees
like
for this
the
one, man.
opposite of a blueprint, whatever it's called, a red print. Like I'm not looking at this game like, oh, like this is something you got to look at. But I'm not slamming anyone. I'm just saying, like in a blowout like this, right? And Brees isn't really doing anything. Brees today had 29 yards on 10 carries. So get Braylon more than 2 touches. Listen, does it matter, right? No, it
Yeah,
doesn't
Frankie,
freaking
they were going
matter.
3
But
and out, man. They
I
weren't getting
know,
anything going
yeah.
offensively. So defensively, again, I'm very concerned about this defense. Last week it was the pass defense. This week it's the rush defense. 2 weeks in a row, your defense disappears on you and just gives you complete nothing efforts. And that's on Aaron Glenn. It's on Steve Wilks. This is your specialty, boys. This is what you're supposed to coach. This is what the strength of the team is supposed to be. That's what I'm scared and nervous about.
Good point.
Yeah. How are you not extremely nervous right now as a Jets fan? Like, holy crap, our defense has not been able to stop a nosebleed for 2 straight weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, Ryan, it was an embarrassment defensively today. And it was also pretty embarrassing last week. So I don't know. This Steve Wilks guy has bounced around for his entire career in the NFL and in college as a coach. He cannot stay in a place for more than a year or two. I don't think he's a really good defensive coordinator. I really don't. I see nothing there. I see talented players, but you're not putting them in a position to make plays. Steve Wilks, what are you doing, man? What was the game plan today? Why aren't you putting some pressure on Josh Allen early? Why are you letting him get away with anything he wanted to out there to a degree? It's bad, man. It's bad. But you know what? On the other side, Rye, when he did scheme up Sauce Gardner, not that that play mattered, to get an easy sack there, I mean, you're unblocked. Sauce just completely whiffs. So maybe it's a little bit the players too, man, because again, we've been having this conversation now year after year after year. We've been doing this show for 2 years. We could have had this conversation 10 years ago. Could have sounded the exact same as we're talking right now about the Jets defense, one step behind, not able to get turnovers. Something's got to be done, man. Something's got to be done. This is not a big play defense. They're just not.
They haven't been able to create a turnover in weeks, in a year. Years, actually, I should say. This hasn't been a defense that's been able to create turnovers in years. Aaron Glenn, after the loss, when it comes to this game, very disappointed, all 3 phases, to be honest with you. They kept the ball, and we didn't keep the ball. It's just that simple. Then his response to 3 straight questions about today's game, he goes, I've got to watch the tape. And he's responded that way, 3 straight questions. So now he's starting to see you can't just give nothing answers like that where I'm just going to watch the tape. Because then tomorrow during his press conference, you can't just be like, we weren't good. We didn't play well. The tape didn't look good. You got to be better, man. Like, that's on you. Your team had a great moral victory last week, but you lost the football game. So we gave you a pass. It's your first NFL game. Week 2, you look just like last year's team. And that was everything that you preached to all Jets fans, that we're the freaking New York Jets, and we're built for this crap. You didn't look built for it today. That's for damn sure. You didn't look built for it.
Listen, man, when you have a team like the Buffalo Bills and Sean McDermott, and they've been together for a long time, they have a lot of cohesion there. And that's probably something that me making my idiotic prediction that the Jets were going to win this game didn't really factor in, but it should have been factored in to everything with this Bills-Jets matchup. Jets are a very new, put-together team, a new head coach, a new OC, a new quarterback. You could go down and down the list. Just new players, new coaches, new everything. So you're going against a team like the Buffalo Bills. They're just a well-oiled machine. There's a reason why they're favored on some books to win the AFC. So with that being said, you just got to give better effort. You can't have Brandon Stevens just completely loaf on a play like that, where James Cook scores in that 44-yarder. You can't have Will McDonald disappearing and Quinnen Williams not giving you anything. You can't have your highest paid corner in the league that you paid the most to, one of the highest non-paid quarterbacks in football, just completely whiff on Josh Allen. Now, listen, I don't take that seriously because he's a corner. He's thin. Josh is a big dude, but all day he's holding, getting beat across the middle. It's just a bad look from everyone. And And at the end of the day, Ryan, it's going to fall on the head coach. These guys weren't ready to play.
By the way,
play.
one of the fans here, Xavier, just shows I'm clueless about scheme. What the heck are you talking about?
We didn't even talk about scheme.
We didn't even talk about scheme. You want to talk about scheme? The Jets ran man. They ran man coverage defense, and the Bills were eating them alive, and they knew they could eat them alive. They ran simple crossing routes and pick routes because the Jets couldn't handle it man-to-man, and the Jets don't have the personnel to handle it man-to-man coverage. And then let's not mention the fact that the Bills knew defensively, scheme-wise, they could blitz their corners on outside zone runs because the Jets were so bad at keying on that. And Alan Lazard was giving no effort to block the blitzing corners or call it out or tell his quarterback, hey, they're coming on the blitz. They know the run is coming. So where is the scheme that is helping the Jets win the game? Please tell me. Enlighten me. Because right now I'm seeing a Jets team that was clueless today, got outcoached, that Frankie just so brilliantly pointed out, and that Sean McDermott is above all of this right now when it comes to Aaron Glenn and the product that he's putting out there. That's 2 straight weeks now that I've seen this defense get absolutely outclassed and outcoached. 2 straight weeks because teams knew how to pick apart these defenses. So that's on Steve Wilks and that's on Aaron Glenn. Now you have another chance to adjust and figure it out. But I have my doubts right now because like Frankie said, there's a lot of carrying over players right now from last year's team that gave the same effort that they gave today, where I saw a team that went down 10-0, Frankie, and said, it's over. We don't have a chance to come back in this one.
Do you know what else? Do you know what else Sean McDermott did today? You know what he did to Aaron Glenn? He said, mother effer, this is our division, pal. We're not taking it easy on you. We're going to embarrass you at home. And they tried to. So the first play of the game, they tried to get Elijah Moore involved. First play, they got him his touchdown late. He's doing a backflip. They're calling timeouts late. They're trying to run up the score to a degree. They're not trying to get scored on late. They wanted to embarrass Aaron Glenn. And you know what? Does it piss me off? You're damn right it does. Do I hate on them for it? No, I don't. A lot of football's war in a lot of ways. I hate saying that. I hate using that analogy. But they're going to try to take your will from you. And today was Sean McDermott and the Bills saying, this is our division. This will never be your division, Aaron Glenn. And let us show you why. Now, with that being said, it's time for Aaron Glenn. Take a step back, all right? I feel like this last couple months, right, Ryan, like we're just, it seems like this train is just going, this Aaron Glenn thing, and it's just all hyped up and crazy and and pressers and stuff, and he's got a lot of energy, and now it's time to sit back. You're 0-2. You played a good week 1. You played a terrible week 2. You got embarrassed. It happens in life. Ask Jimmy Johnson, right? I always bring that example up. He went 1-15 his first year with Dallas, and then they won a Super Bowl not too long after. They won 2 and back to back. Wait, take a step back, and go through the roster, go through the scheme, talk to your coaches, talk to the players. Get guys motivated again. Now you have to kind of like re-script everything. Because everything that you thought that was going to work against Buffalo based on what you did against Pittsburgh just really crapped itself. Now, there were some unfortunate situations that happened. 3rd and 19 penalty, the field fumble, we spoke about that. That kind of just set you back. Can't just go down 10-0, 13-0 against Buffalo that early and expect to beat them. They're just that good. But take a step back. We all got a little bit ahead of ourselves. We all did. Now, I'm sure there's some fans that thought Buffalo would blow us out. I'm sure a lot of Buffalo fans knew that Buffalo was going to blow us out. We got ahead of ourselves. We got excited with this Tanner Angstrom, Justin Fields, Brees thing, and the defense has talent. We got embarrassed. We got stomped out. It is what it is.
It's so disheartening, though. It's so disheartening, though, Frankie. Like it is, but this is everything that we were hoping wasn't going to repeat. And that's what I'm upset about, is that the Jets repeated everything that they did last year, man. It's so frustrating to watch that this team continues to fall on itself. They beat themselves today. The Bills didn't beat the Jets. They beat themselves. And that's what we saw last year with Robert Saleh's team, and that's what we're seeing again with Aaron Glenn's team. That's a serious cultural issue you got to change.
Yeah, to a degree. Yeah, I agree, Ryan. Ryan, I'm starting to think, and I hate bringing this up right now because it's way too early and probably not the right time to talk about this.
No, don't talk about draft position
I'm not
right
talking about
now.
draft position.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I think this team lacks leadership. I just do. I think Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Quinton Williams, I'm not pointing out anyone specifically. They need a leader there. I don't think there's leaders. You know what it reminds me of, and I hate using this example, but hey, we're New York Post Sports, where we cover everything, right? You guys cover baseball. Reminds you of the Mets a little bit, right? Like the Mets have Lindor, Nimmo, Alonso, all really good, but like they lack something. They lack that leader, that guy that's gonna like rah-rah and like pound the table or make the locker room fun, do some quirky things. Like that Kevin Millar, I saw this documentary about the Red Sox and how important he was in that locker room. Like guys are having fun and loose and doing weird things and taking shots before playoff games, like little things like that. I'm not saying take shots before football games, but they're not having fun, these guys. And I think it's on Garrett, Brees, Quinn, Sauce, guys that have been here for a while. You got to do something to make it not so tense, because when everything is so tense and you're putting so much pressure on this game, like I know they did, you could tell they were tense. Tony Romo, who talks way too much, by the way, he's got to chill out. But he's brought it up. He goes, Field sailed that one, and then Josh Allen sailed that other one.
I mean, he wasn't wrong though. He thought the Jets were going to be in this game. He thought the Jets were going to be in this game, and they weren't. The defense showed up last week, and then the defense the offense, I should say, put some stuff on tape that were like, this is impressive. Like they should be good. And then he was expecting the defense to improve, like we all did, because that was a pretty bad performance for them last week. Just see if it's got worse. It did. If Josh Allen wanted to throw 45 times, I know I said before that's what Romo was saying. Like they didn't want to throw 45 times today. If they wanted to, they probably could have scored 50 points today if they wanted to. Like it just, nothing worked today. And that's why I am so dang frustrated about all of this, man. Control what you can control. Effort and execution. Those are the two things you have to control. And this Jets team is just so brutal. It's brutal to watch, man. I legit was sitting there halftime going, this game's over. They have no chance. That's a problem, man. You have to be better. Aaron Glenn has 15 more of these. Get better.
Do you want me to go through can I go through this? This is going to make you want to cry. And I'm sorry to do this, Jeff fans, but I'm going to do it. This is accountability, okay? And I love Tanner Engstrand. Love him. But this is accountability. You ready for this? Drive 1, punt. Drive 2, fumble. Punt, field goal, punt, and then that late touchdown. That's your drive charts, folks. There you go. In Buffalo, touchdown, field goal, touchdown, punt, field goal, touchdown, punt, end of game.
So,
I mean, what is football? You know what football is? Football is
offense could not have been 2. Disaster.
You're kind of in and out, I think, Rye.
Any NFL team this week, it's legit.
Yeah, you were cutting in and out a little bit, but yeah, I got you now.
Okay. Jets offense was on fire. Looked incredible. Week 2, it looks like the worst NFL offense.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
What's real and what's not real? Tell me.
You know what? I'm going to give the generic answer. It's somewhere in the middle, man. But honestly, I'm thinking it's starting to trend more on not being even close to one of the best offenses in the NFL. I think we could confidently say that. One of the best offenses in the NFL, like even top 10, Ryan, like they're not one of the best offenses in the NFL, actually. Let's just chill with that, even though they look like that last week to a degree based on the numbers. They're not even top 10. Like a top 10 offense doesn't look like this. Now, it's very new. They got exposed. They just started, playing together, and Tanner just got Justin Fields, 6 months ago. So like whatever, it's going to take some time, but they're average, and the way they look today, man, it looks like a below average offense. And I'm going to say this, Justin Fields looked horrendous today. He didn't have the reps now, so you could bring that up, but based on every rep that he did have, he was nervous. He could not find himself to get anything going. He had no accuracy, bad footwork, bad mechanics, fumble twice.
Yeah, he got happy feet after the
did.
first couple series when he
He was
got
all
hit.
over the place.
When he got hit a couple of times, that's
is.
alarming to me. Like that was the difference between last week to this week is that Fields looked like no matter what pressure was thrown at him, he was cool, calm, and collected. He delivered the ball accurately and in the pocket, out of the pocket. He made decisions quickly and decisively. He had Garrett Wilson open on the curl route on the fourth drive of the game, and he gets off it too early because he took the sack earlier where he got the sack fumble on the scramble. And it's like, you got to have some moxie here, kid. This is where you learn to get better as a quarterback. You got to be able to stand in that pocket, stare down the barrel of the gun, take the shot, and throw a deliberately accurate pass in front of you. That's where I challenge Tanner Engstrand and Justin Fields. That's where you got to get better, man. Because when things get bad, like they did to start the game, you got to respond as an offense and say, guys, we're going to stick to our run, but we also need Justin to convert on the key third downs and the key passing down situations. And we gotta be smart. We gotta be accurate. We gotta deliver from a good pocket. Pass rush. I mean, the O-line, you gotta let the pass rush not get to our quarterback. Wide receivers, get open. Like, I know I'm saying silly, stupid, easy things to think about, but that's where we're at, man. They just can't.
Yeah, and the
execute.
other thing is this, Ryan. You know, the Jets' chance to win this game, being honest, and I texted you before the game started. I'm like, oh, I like that we're receiving the ball. I like that, right? You got to have a better first drive than that. Tanner comes out. They want to run the zone read. Do you think that Buffalo and Matt Milano, who blew up the first two plays of that, do you think that he doesn't know what you guys are going to try to run there? You got to do something different. If it was me, and listen, I don't know crap offensively speaking compared to someone like Tanner Engstrand, so I'm not going to pretend to, but I would have ran something a little different. I would have faked the zone read, had Fields scramble out of the pocket, have some crossers, pick up 10 yards.
They didn't run zone reads till the fourth drive.
They tried the first two, I believe the first two plays of the game, they did a zone read.
No. They were doing straight handoffs to Brees in the first couple plays of the game.
I'll look back at it. I'll take your word for it. Usually pretty good at remembering that stuff.
I don't think they tried a zone read run until the third or fourth drive of the game, to be honest.
Regardless, even if it was just regular running plays, right? Like, I thought they should have been more aggressive on that first drive. Like, don't play within that box like we said they shouldn't do against Pittsburgh. Although it looked like Buffalo's defense was susceptible because of what Baltimore did to them the week before. We're not the Baltimore offense. And I want to say to Bobby Babish, I apologize to you. Not that you give a crap about me, but I do apologize for saying that you have an overrated defense and you guys are going to get gashed by this Jets offense. I was completely, utterly wrong. A terrible analysis on my end, but hey, what do you want me to say? This was like a nightmare again for us, though. This is literally like what you said, exactly what we didn't want to see happened. This is
all the good feelings
like
are gone.
for Jets
all the
fans.
Good feelings are gone. And now, I'm telling you, man, all the like, how do I say this? The pitchforks are going to be out for Aaron Glenn now, if that makes sense, Frankie.
You think so already?
I think this is the worst possible thing you could have done after a week one performance that you put up, where like, hey, moral victory, offense looked incredible. Defense just had a couple plays, took a miracle 60-yard field goal for the Steelers to beat you guys. Like they're in it. The Jets look like a different team. You went back to last year and 2023 all over again, where you gave up after being down by more than one score, and the team gave up on you, and the players gave up on you, and you didn't respond well. No matter how much screaming you did on the sideline, no matter how angry you probably gave a halftime speech, you as a coach and your coaching staff did not respond well, and the players didn't respond to your messaging. That's where I'm concerned. So that's where you need to get better as a team. And now I'm really concerned about Justin Fields' concussion because he's a running quarterback. And let's say they try to play him next week. It takes one more hit and he's done. You can't have two concussions in 2 weeks. So that's where I am getting to the reality of this can come crumbling down very fast, Frankie. 0-2 start for the Jets of the year. Not a good way you want to get going. The offense went from a peak to absolute bottom crater this week. So there needs to be a happy medium next week. You have to find some way to score points, get ahead of the sticks, stop having dumb mistakes defensively, stop being too cute offensively, tearing your string with end arounds to Arian Smith, get easy completions for Justin Fields. Defensively, we have to scheme up some good blitzes. You have to be able to stop the run. You can't stop the run this week. You didn't stop the pass last week. Got to clean it up.
Yeah.
Frankie, last part of this whole show, giving your flowers out. Who are you giving your flowers to? Because I know I got my pick,
give
man.
Flowers to somebody today? Is that doable?
You know who I'm giving it to? I'll make it easier for you.
Oh.
Give it to Jets fans. Give it to Jets fans. Jets fans deserve it.
I said the ones that left so they didn't get stuck in traffic. I mean, I like that.
All the Jets fans that stood and sat there and watched the garbage that was there today on MetLife Field.
Cheered for this team today. Sorry.
There was not one redeeming quality about this team today. So I give my flowers to Jets fans for putting up with the slack.
All right,
today.
if I have to give my flowers, you know what, man? I'll give my flowers to Garrett Wilson. Listen, he didn't have a great game, but he made a few plays. Looked like he was the best player on both sides of the field because there's no one on defense I can think of. Is there? There's no one on offense besides Garrett Wilson.
You can give it to.
Or you know what? Actually, let me take that back. I'm gonna give flowers to somebody. I'm gonna give flowers. Jeremy Rucker, my man. Welcome to the NFL, boy. Welcome. You scored your first NFL touchdown. Congratulations. So there we go. I'm taking back my Garrett Wilson. I retract my Garrett Wilson flowers. I am giving them now. I'm handing them to Jeremy Rucker. You had your first NFL touchdown. Hopefully, you have a lot more. I don't think you will, but hopefully you do. Good luck, kid. But no, that was cool. The guy hasn't been good, but you know, I don't like rooting for people to just like get so bad in their career that like they're off the team and you could say sayonara. I mean, I'm not really like that unless you're Elijah Moore. But
no, I'm not like that either. But I will say, does Michael Clemens have any spot on this roster after this week?
You know what?
He played a bunch. After.
Let's talk about this one quick second. I understand why he's on the team because, well, Jermaine Johnson, we didn't know how he would be physically, and you saw today he left the game.
And Johnson had the ankle injury. So that's why Clemens played.
That's what happens when you come back pretty soon from lower extremity injury. Some other things act up. You're overcompensating. I don't know if that's the case here, but it happened. So you needed another edge on the roster, right? Now, my issue is at that point in the game, Jermaine was not out of the game. And why is Michael Clemens in on 3rd and 19? Michael Clemens is not a pass rusher. He's not a run stopper either, but he's better at run stopping than pass rushing. Why in the hell is he in the game at that point? That is on Steve Wilks, completely on Steve Wilks, because you want to talk about in-game adjustments and who's playing what and who's playing in certain
situations
in the game, in certain packages. That's the word. Certain packages. Why is Michael Clemens in a 3rd and 19
in that situation?
Exactly. You have Will McDonald.
I told you, dude, this guy has no business he provides nothing. He provides nothing for your defense. He is a complete zero. He's terrible in the run defense. He's terrible at the pass rush, and he has too many dumb penalties like this. I've said this to you multiple times. I said it to you in the offseason. I don't understand why this guy made the team, just like we didn't understand why Xavier Gibson made the team. So now I'm looking to Aaron Glenn at how he responds, because I know he's going to watch that tape and say, what the hell are you doing, Michael Clemens? The ball's incomplete. There's no reason to hit the quarterback, especially high in the helmet like he did, because he doesn't think. He's not a smart player. He's not a good player. He's not very talented. He's a big, strong guy. That's it. He doesn't do anything well. He doesn't rush the passer well. He doesn't defend the run well. There's zero reason for him to be on the roster besides depth.
To it being a tough guy. That's what he is.
And he also doesn't do anything special teams wise. He does nothing for you. So get rid of him. Cut him. Cut your losses like you did with Xavier Gibson. This guy cost you the game, literally. He cost you the football game.
Yeah, man. And you know what, dude? The other thing with this whole thing at this point, Aaron Glenn, he's got to do some soul searching himself and figure out what kind of defense they want to put together there, because this defense looks like crap, dude. Like, you can't, and the thing is this, you can't go from Robert Saleh, who, say what you want, the Jets had a pretty good defense for the most part. I'm not. Salah ran a good defense. He just did. It is what it is. There's a reason they were ranked in the top 3 on PFF in 2 of his years, and the other year they were 6th or whatever. Like, the offense was awful, so it is. That's why they weren't winning games. But the defense was pretty good. Aaron Glenn, you got to look in the mirror and say, I'm a defensive coach. I have Steve Wilks, who was a head coach, who now is a defensive coordinator. You can't come up with a better defensive strategy than that. And they're going to know a lot. We're going to know a lot next week because they need to put together some sort of resemblance of a defense to stop Baker Mayfield in that Bucs offense, which is not what it was, I think, with Liam Cohen, and we'll get into that in our pregame.
I wouldn't say
Liam
that.
Cohen. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, look.
Egmika Abuka looked pretty damn
look
good,
at the Lions. Man. It took them only a week out of not having Ben Johnson calling plays. It seemed like they just picked up right where they left off. So, yeah, it could be.
We had week 1 overreaction across the NFL, man, and the Jets made us fools. We had overreacted to them looking really good offensively, and now we get this today. The Jets defense was bad again, so that's what we know. Probably not overreaction. The Jets have a defensive problem right now, and you have 2 defensive guys leading the way in Glenn and Steve Wilks. And Steve Wilks has never had success anywhere he's gone, to be honest with you. Maybe that 1 year with I don't even know if you want to call it with the 49ers because he was fired from that job. So I don't know.
When you have a minute, take out your phone later, right? Take out your phone, go to Wikipedia or Steve Wilks' resume, go on Wikipedia, and look how long that thing is. You ever see those memes? I will defend someone this much, and it's like those elongated. That looks like Steve Wilks' resume. There's probably a reason he's bounced around. I've seen 0 from the defensive side of the football to give me any confidence that this team can even sniff the playoffs this year. And we kind of know that, I guess. We're 0-2. I mean, it's pretty obvious, I think. But, like, you're not making the playoffs with a defense like that because if you put up 30, they're going to put up 34. If you put up 34, they're going to put up 37 like last week. It seems like if we put up 40, they'll put 45 on you. That's how bad this defense is. Steve Wilks is running an awful defense, and it's on, ultimately, Aaron Glenn, who was a defensive coordinator on a team that almost made the Super Bowl last year. So, and the year before. So, and listen, that defense in Detroit wasn't anything special, by the way, but that's another conversation. They better get in tune with what to do defensively because Tanner Engstrand might say at the end of this year, if he can't get support defensively or get a quarterback, he might say, hey guys, thank you very much. I had a great year here. I'm out, sayonara. And then we're really in crap's hell. I'm just letting you know. You don't want you better fix that soon. You never know.
Happening. It's not happening.
They didn't, he had a bad game today too, Tanner Engstrand. He did.
He had a very bad game, Frankie. Yeah. He's not leaving after 2 games.
Because that first drive was not well done. That reverse was awful.
3rd drive, dude. I told you. First, you get 2 first downs in a row, 2 plays in a row. You get 2 first downs. 3rd play, you have 1st and 10. You just got 25 yards on 2 straight plays, and then you decide to go end around and get cute with Arian Smith.
Let me ask you this before we head out, and shout outs to people listening and commenting. Always appreciated. Do you think Justin Fields could actually perform well consistently against quality defensive coaches and coordinators? Because Sean McDermott is a quality defensive mind. And I'm sure him and Bobby Babish, they went in the film room and they're like, we got to do X, Y, Z, and this kid won't do anything.
Yeah, and they just Frankie, it was simple. They executed their game plan to a T, the Bills. They knew what they were keying up on the run. They knew what to do against the outside zone runs to Breece Hall. They stuffed and clogged up the middle. They were blitzing their corners again on the run plays. They knew what to do. And then when it came to the pass, they just made Justin uncomfortable. They credit to them. The offensive line didn't look good again today, or not again, but didn't look good today. That was a big step back, I think, for them overall. Bosa was making them look silly. And then also on the Jets offensive side, when you talk about Engstrand and these guys scheming up, they're leaving Rucker one-on-one with Bosa. Like at the end, it's like, what are you doing? Stop. You never put a tight end blocking a premier pass rusher like that. So it's on these guys, man. They got to get better. They got to get better.
Ryan, is they have to figure out this week if Justin Fields is going to be in this concussion protocol, and this is something to look out for. I'm sure they're going to activate Brady Quinn to the 53. So look for that off the practice squad because they're not going to go in with just Tyrod. Even if Fields can play, I'm sure they're going to maybe bring up Brady Cook, excuse me.
God.
So
This season
yeah,
could be
it
cooked.
could be cooked.
Real
I mean,
soon,
we
to
got
be
cooked
honest
today
with you.
by James Cook. So
I mean, let's be real, Frankie. You start 0-3, then I'm making the playoffs.
no. I mean, dude. I mean, it's you start. We talked about this. The blueprint for the Jets to make the playoffs this year was win week 1, and then you can lose week 2. Yeah, survive the next couple weeks.
Yeah,
show that you're competitive, even if you're 1-2.
And then hopefully go 1-2 into Miami,
and then you got
go
Dallas
2-2.
right after that. And then you could, and then
Denver,
you could potentially be around 500. And now, Tampa's. If you're into this playoff thing with the Jets this year, if you're telling yourself it's possible, you gotta beat Tampa. That's their homecoming game. Also, that's their first game at home this season. So we'll see. I'm gonna be watching the Tampa game today and seeing how they look. But it sucks for fans that Tampa's playing on Monday night. Excuse me, they're playing at Houston
Monday night,
so that'll be interesting. But man, it sucks for fans that had to see this crap again, because this is PTSD. This is what we saw for 15 years. What we've been seeing, Ryan, for 15 years since that last AFC Championship run. That last one, we have been we're bottom of the barrel. We haven't made the playoffs since. And today's performance, man, that was almost worse than what I've seen. If that's even possible. I had PTSD premium, like that was bad today, man. I didn't even want to watch this game. If we weren't doing post games, I would have casually watched. I mean, what are you watching for? Just watching a complete beatdown, an embarrassment. Sean McDermott and that Bills team, that organization said, we're not only going to beat you, we're going to embarrass you at home. And we're going to have your ex-player, Elijah Moore, score a touchdown. And he's going to do a backflip when we're kneeling the ball at the end. Like he's some premier player.
Yep. Well, that's it, man. Let's call it. I can't do this anymore.
Negative.
We're done. Yeah, I know. We're rambling here. We got to stop. That's the Jets. The Jets lose 30-10. Until next time, Jets fans, we'll see you next week after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. For Ryan Sampson, Frankie Vittorini from U Stadium.
Stay up, guys.
I don't know what else to say, man. I'm not saying.